we talked a little bit about the wide receiving core last segment, and let's dive into that a little deeper. Do you think it needs a significant upgrade? And if so, what quote-unquote type of receiver do you think helps the most?
Yeah, I think they need somebody at the top of the depth chart, whether, number one or number two with Cooper, right? However you want to divide that up. I think Elijah Moore's fine as a 3. Said Tillman's a 4. David Bell fits in wherever he fits in. Like, you can make that work. And plus you have the David Njoku factor. They consider him, right now they consider him the second best option in the pass game behind Cooper. And again, if your quarterback plays really well, you can make those receivers look good. But I do think you want an upgrade. Cooper's getting older. He's had a couple injuries the last couple of years, finished the last 2 years with injuries. Now, the style's interesting, right? Because I know T. Higgins is going to be probably the number one receiver out there. Like his size, like his production. I don't know if he's fast enough. Now, I know he's been super productive, so maybe I'm just, nitpicking. But I like the idea of somebody with a lot of speed, and that's what they tried to get with Moore, but he's more quick than fast. Tried to get with Goodwin, but he's too small, like to be that, the downfield threat. And Cooper's not super fast either, right? I mean, he can run away, he can get separation, but he's not a burner type guy. And I know they're hard to come by, but I like that idea. I like the idea of somebody that can get deep for Deshaun Watson, create a lot of separation where not everything is a contested catch.
Yeah, the big body intrigues me just because if you think about DeAndre Hopkins, even a guy like Mike Williams at Clemson when he was there, he's always had a guy that, and maybe it can be Njoku, a guy that you put it up and he's going to go get it.
Yeah, and right. So I'm not like slamming the door on Higgins. I just my perfect thought is that room needs more speed, and they tried to address it last year and didn't quite get there. I think they'll try to do that again this year, and maybe that works in, maybe Higgins plays faster than his time. Maybe they find another guy that is better than Goodwin, and then you have the complement you're looking for. But that just kind of is in the back of my head. They need to figure something out there.
They drafted Tillman in the 3rd round. Do you think they look early in the? I think they have a 2nd round this year. It wouldn't shock me because you got to get a guy. As we mentioned, Cooper's getting up there in years. You got to find somebody to develop.
Yeah, to me, this position's really intriguing how it's going to play out. Right, we talked about Cooper's contract, so I love Amari Cooper, and I think he's incredibly important to the Browns, and I would expect them to bring him back. But I don't think it's guaranteed given the contract. So, do you draft a guy in the 2nd round and go, okay, he's gonna come in and be my number 2? Is that too much pressure for the guy? Or do you sign somebody in free agency, make a move with Cooper, and then draft somebody, right? And I guess maybe that's the same scenario, but you went out and upgraded number 1, you figure. I just think there's a bunch of different ways it could play out, but I would not rule out a receiver there. I mean, you can make the argument that they need to get younger depending on what they do in free agency.